Within a small village at the base of Wanda Mountain, there is an inn. Within that inn, the young Avengers, Quicksilver, and Magneto stand over the now dead Doombot masquerading as the Scarlet Witch. Quicksilver still isn't convinced that this is Dr. Doom's doing. He claims that Magneto and Doom have been rivals for years. And what better way to motivate an invasion on Latveria than convincing Wanda's children that Dr. Doom is holding her captive? Magneto tells Quicksilver to judge for himself before lifting the Doombot and deconstructing it for his son to see. Who but Doom has the technology to create such a device? And who but Doom has the power to make it seem as if Wanda simply disappeared, leaving no trace of her or her magics? Like both William and Thomas, Victor Von Doom lost his mother at an early age. Like your mother, Magneto says to Quicksilver, Cynthia Von Doom practiced witchcraft to fight for the lives and rights of others. But in the end, she lost the fight, her life, and her eternal soul. Already a gifted scientist, Victor turned his attention to the mystic arts to reclaim his mother's soul. That is, until his efforts to combine science and magic backfired, burning him in the same fires that consumed his mother, and damning him to live the rest of his life as Dr. Doom, the self-proclaimed king of Latveria, the master of science and magic, and the most powerful man alive. The only person more powerful than Doom is your sister, Pietro. Wanda possesses the unique ability to transform reality to suit her whim. So whoever controls Wanda controls the fabric of existence, as you well know, my son. Pietro still isn't convinced. He reasons that if Dr. Doom already had Wanda, they would all be mindless drones doing Doom's bidding. However, Magneto poses the question, how do they know they already aren't? He believes that between the 9 of them, they make a rather formidable search and rescue team. Quicksilver outright denies Magneto's invitation, and Patriot also raises his hand in disapproval. Almost everyone agrees. That is, except for Wiccan. Patriot doubles down on how much of a bad idea it is to not only team up with a known mutant terrorist, but to potentially risk starting a world war by invading Latveria. Wiccan is of the same mind, however, using the same reasoning to argue why he should make the trip alone. Why risk sending everyone when I can magic my way in, get the lay of the land, and get out? Doom will never know I was there. Magneto smiles down at his grandson and says, I appreciate the offer, William, but if we go together. And who exactly will be leading this expedition, Magneto? Patriot asks. Magneto motions that Patriot can lead if he would like, though Hawkeye may have something to say about that. That is, if she were still speaking to him. But if not Patriot, then Magneto volunteers that they place the person with the most experience at the helm, which just so happens to be him. Not so fast, Father, Quicksilver interrupts. While you're obviously the most experienced player on the field, you're no longer the most powerful. Or did you not see the news footage of your grandson magicking all of Midtown Manhattan into a coma by waving his hands? It was an accident, Wiccan mumbles. I know. Imagine the kind of damage you could do if you actually applied yourself. Perhaps even enough to frighten my father into behaving honorably for once in his life, rather than betraying us the moment he gets what he wants. Magneto tells his son once again that his only desire is to secure the safety and well-being of his daughter. But Pietro has heard it all before. This time, he hopes it's true, for Magneto's sake, because otherwise, he will have to deal with Wiccan. And if he's anything like his mother, then God help him. Later, Magneto escorts the young Avengers to their rooms for the night. The accommodations may be a little rustic, but they will do. Wiccan, on the other hand, sneaks away to cast a traveling spell. I want to go to Latveria. His hands glow blue, and a portal begins to spiral into creation when Quicksilver arrives. Billy tries to play coy, but Pietro tells his nephew that there isn't any use lying, especially when he announces his intentions every time he casts a spell. You'll find your enemies are easier to defeat if you haven't just told them what you're about to do to them. The element of surprise and all that. Pietro then tries to compliment Billy, stating that they are more alike than he first gave them credit. Wiccan has now disobeyed a direct order from Magneto the moment he turned his back. To be honest, Pietro is impressed. However, Hulkling is not. He points his anger at Quicksilver, asking, "How did you not get that if Doom is powerful enough to have captured the Scarlet Witch, he's not likely to be threatened by a 10th grade wizard and a guy who can run really fast?" Quicksilver steps forward. "May I interject?" "You may not." "I have tried to be supportive of Billy's connecting with his family because God knows he supported me through the Kree Skrull Jamboree that was my family reunion. But you know what's even crazier than a Kree Skrull Jamboree? The Maximoff family! You people are every bit as toxic as I thought you'd be, but you're nowhere near as smart. You want to sneak off to Latveria without us? Please do. The less my friends and I have to do with you, or your father, or Dr. Doom, the better. But if you somehow manage to convince my idiot boyfriend to go with you, I will rip your legs off." Elsewhere, within the Avengers Tower, the mighty Avengers have brought in Simon Williams, Wonder Man, in order to help their efforts. Wonder Man, as they stand to reason, had a connection with Wanda that was stronger than anyone else's. Simon sacrificed his life to save Wanda's by absorbing the blast from a Kree ion cannon. And then, years later, Wanda brought him back to life by sheer force of will. His whole existence is the last remaining vestige of the Scarlet Witch's magic on this plane. So, you thought you'd use my energy signature to try to locate her. And then, what? I mean, what exactly do you plan to do with Wanda once you find her? Or haven't the mighty Avengers figured that out yet? Wolverine pops his claws and tells Simon, "We're gonna kill her." "Logan," Captain America snaps, but Wolverine has already started. "You wanna make me the bad guy for saying it out loud, Cap? That's fine. But the last time we had this debate, we ended up as slaves in Magneto Land. The Scarlet Witch murdered our friends. She stole our lives, and she took out about 1 million mutants. and not one of you could tell me she won't do something like that, or worse again. So, the only permanent solution is to kill her. And if we're smart, we get rid of Wiccan too. Wonder Man looks at Captain America while pointing at Wolverine, asking, "You made this guy an Avenger, Cap?" Wolverine responds for Captain America, stating, "What happened to you, Williams? Did the witch cast a spell on you too? Or are you still hoping she'll pick you over the robot? 'Cause from where I'm standing, the robot's looking a lot more of a man than you'll ever be. Then you might want to take a step back and look again." Wonder Man, having enough of Wolverine's instigations, punches Wolverine so hard he flies back into the next room, breaking the wall in the process. Captain America runs to help his teammate to his feet, but Wolverine slaps his hand away before turning his claws on even his old war buddy. "Are you serious about Wanda?" he snarls. "Because I don't think you're serious. After all, you were in love with her too." Captain America, with a cool head, tells Wolverine that the plan is to find Wanda. They will deal with the after later. But Wolverine has had enough. He formally quits from the mighty Avengers, telling them that if he finds Wanda first, there won't be a later. Wonder Man also makes his exit after denying the Avengers' offer. He tells them, "There's no way I can do what you're asking me as part of a team, and certainly not a team that continues to blame the Scarlet Witch for its own mistakes. I am going to try to find her before Wolverine does, not because you asked me to, but because I owe her that much. We all do." That night, Wiccan leaves Hulkling a letter saying, "Dear Teddy, you are without a doubt the best boyfriend in the entire world. You're kind, you're generous, you threaten to maim people for me. You're forgiving. At least, I hope you'll be. You'll be angry at first. I know I'd be angry if I did anything even remotely this stupid. But please don't worry. It's not like I'm planning to invade Latveria, confront Dr. Doom, and rescue the Scarlet Witch tonight. At least, that's not the plan. I promise there will be no castle storming whatsoever. Just a little on-site recon. Besides, Doom's palace will be so heavily guarded, I probably won't be able to get anywhere near it. However, it occurs to me that if you're reading this, something may have gone terribly wrong. Because the plan was to come back and destroy this note without your ever knowing I had gone. Which means, of course, your idiot boyfriend has probably been captured by Dr. Doom. I tell you not to risk your own safety by coming to rescue me, but I know you will anyway, because, as previously stated, you are the best boyfriend in the entire world." Wiccan teleports just above Castle Doom, within Doomstop, and cannot help but try to take a closer look. As he lands on the castle grounds, he is instantly surrounded by Doombots. But he isn't panicking, because he can just magic himself back to Transnia. Or, since he's already there, he might as well see how far he can take this. With a cloud of blue smoke, Wiccan transforms himself into the Scarlet Witch, and asks the Doombots to please escort him back to his room. For the record, Billy is not the sort of person who enjoys dressing up in his mother's clothes, but he has to say, he thinks he made quite the impression. The Doombots escort the disguised Billy to the room of the Scarlet Witch. Everything is proceeding surprisingly easy. As the Doombots close the door behind Wiccan, he transforms back to normal, He is just about to examine the room when he is grabbed from behind and thrown to the ground by his mother. Wanda stands there with her foot pinned to Wiccan's chest and asks him, "Who are you? And what are you doing in my room?" Billy's mind races. He wants to tell Wanda everything. That he's her son. That he's the son she thought was dead, but whose soul migrated into the body of a gay Jewish fanboy. I'm here to rescue you, he stammers, from Dr. Doom. Wanda's eyes widen before she squints. And how do you intend to do that? Well, in spite of the fact that you just threw me on the ground and pinned me there with your 3-inch heel, I'm actually kind of a superhero. Really? In training. Clearly. But I have powers and everything. Powers? Magic powers. Billy explains that he is Wiccan of the Young Avengers, and they, along with Wanda's brother and father, are working together to save her. Immediately, Wanda disregards it as impossible. Wiccan fully understands that right now, Wanda is either pretending to have amnesia so she can make a new start, or she actually does have amnesia, and nothing Billy is saying is going to make any sense. Either way, he needs to get her out of there as soon as possible. Wanda tells Wiccan, "I appreciate your concern, but I assure you I'm quite safe. In fact, I'm getting married tomorrow." Wiccan stops everything he is doing and asks, "You're what? To whom?" At that moment, Wanda's bedroom chamber door slides open. Billy barely has time to turn around when a voice answers, "To me."